Spencer.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
And this is
the Family Showdown!
We're just gonna rock out. I like this. We're not even gonna talk today. We're just gonna sit here with the what do they call it? Duty free or whatever they call it? Music.
Duty free.
I don't remember. I was in an airport recently. I don't know.
Royalty free.
Royalty free music. Free music.
All right.
Free music. How's it going, peeps?
All right.
Hey.
So,
Welcome,
hello.
chat.
So, welcome for joining us one night late because Rebecca was in Fargo, North Dakota.
Woohoo! Don't you
know?
know?
Like 8 hours ago?
Was it?
No, about 10 hours ago.
Holy cow! Yeah, I got here early. Don't do that stuff. Don't travel.
So,
early.
tonight we were talking about the top 10, our favorite, of all the games that have won a Spiel des Jahres
Ooh, look at you.
award.
Somebody was practicing with the pronunciation thing.
No, I've said that.
kidding.
I think I've said that word quite a few times, but it's probably not perfect. But tonight, so there's 3 categories, and well, at least recently, there's 3 different categories of Spiel awards. This is a German board game award. They give away a Game of the Year award. They also give a Kids Game of the Year award, and they also give what they call a Connoisseur Game award, which is like the gamer kind of more complicated game award.
Yes.
They also have a slew of weird awards they've given throughout the years. They've given like most beautiful game. What are some of the other ones they give?
I kind of like that though.
They got, let's see, they give best dexterity game, best library game, best historical game. They have like every once in a while they throw like a weird category in there, and
I feel like they're scrabbling or rolling dice. So like, yeah, we're gonna do historical this year.
but we're not including any of those. So we're only including
Yeah.
the 3. I need this.
I have stuff written on the back of that.
Well, tough. So, the Game of the Year award is the main one. That's the Spiel des Jahres award. That's the Game of the Year award. That's been going on since 1979. So, they've done it every year since 1979. There's also the Connoisseur Game award, which they've given since 2011. And then they have the Children's Game Awards, which they've given since 1989. So those are the ones we're picking from. I think there's 80-ish games in there that we get to choose from. And we're going to give you our top 10. I might, if we have time, if we're bored, I'll talk about some of the weird category games. There's only one big one that of all the ones that well, I guess there's I checked the ones. There's three or four big name games that are on that list that we did not include.
Cool.
All right, so they're asking how was Nationals.
Nationals was awesome. I'm really tired because I got an hour of sleep, but both of my children placed in multiple events, and so that was really exciting. I'm really super proud of them. And we had 4 people going from our school district, and they all did amazing, and they all like achieved something. It was really cool for us. So pretty awesome. We're very excited.
I do have
Thanks
a beef.
for
I
asking.
do have a beef though with your
My
national. This is the Nationals. We're talking the whole country, the winners of the entire country. Rebecca, what do you get if you win first place
A ribbon.
in the entire country?
a ribbon.
A ribbon.
We have no money.
A field day. You remember those? If you're a little bit older, you remember those when we used to have field days? We would run around and get sweaty in the middle of late spring. We'd get a ribbon for like running like 10 feet, and
Yeah.
that's the same exact ribbon they get.
Because we don't get funding, okay? So one of you, like, super multi-millionaires donate so that our Shakespeare, like the overall sweepstakes trophies are bigger than this. Like, we don't have the money because academics, y'all.
It's sad.
But it's awesome
They're
because it's not.
They're asking if it is your actual kids.
Oh, they're my students. Although my kids have expressed interest, so someday maybe it'll be both. But it was my students.
So
two of my students, and then two of from two other high schools in our school district.
So
it's pretty awesome.
So I'm looking at our volume. Let us know if we're blasting you guys out, because our volume's acting psycho. Our volume's doing weird because it was really low when I was recording my board game breakfast, so I cranked it up a little bit, and now it looks like we're blasting you guys out.
So
let us know if it's like too high. But so we're gonna give our top 10, our top 10 Spiel winners. I'm calling them Spiel winners for the 3 categories. Okay. It could be for any of those categories in any order. I wrote when the award happened. We can look it up.
I can look it up.
Rebecca can look up when it happened. I noticed that mine, just to kind of be spoilerific, is weighted a little more recent.
Loud. Oh, I guess it's... Kabuki says it's loud. Dan says it's fine.
Okay. I can crank it down just a little bit.
A little bit. We'll compromise. A little bit.
But yeah, my board game breakfast, I recorded it, and I could just barely hear myself. I'm like, what is going on? So I had to crank everything up. So
to 11.
Cranked it up to 11. All right, we ready to go? I think that's enough introduction-ness.
I'm just here and functioning.
All right.
Sort of. I'm conscious.
My number 10. Spiel winner is...
Now Kabuki and I turn it up.
Azul!
Number 10.
There's a lot of good games. These are the winners of the year. Azul, me and Abstracts, we have a love-hate relationship. Mostly hate.
Kind of abstract.
So Azul, that's the darling of last year, right?
Azul was 2018.
Yeah. So last year's winner. It was like all the rage. It's still selling crazy numbers. Yeah, 2008.
1980, what? What just happened?
2018. I've been watching a lot of 80s videos.
I see that.
2018 Game of the Year, the main category.
Very cool.
This one's still selling like crazy. It's still in the top sales every month on a lot of the online sites. It's a great game. So if you don't know what Azul is, if you've lived under a board game rock.
Wow, rude. What if they just started playing games?
I said if you lived under a board game rock. I got a story about just playing games, but anyway. Apparently, I am now known as the board game person at work, and so anytime they have questions about board games, they get filtered to me. So
nice.
So anyway,
that's awesome.
So I suggested a coworker to play King of Tokyo.
Nice.
So, but anyway,
this is good.
Anyway, like Azul, it is an abstract game. It's a tile. You draft tiles, literally little like mosaic looking tiles, and you're putting them on the board to fill in certain areas, and you get points based on how you do that. It's a great game. It's super light. Well, in my opinion, it's super light. Great family game. Deserving of the award. Everyone, this is one. The last 2 or 3 years, the winner has been like the person they think should win, and Azul was the shoe-in winner last year. So.
I would agree. It was pretty cool.
So what's your number?
10. My number 10, Hunter's kind of on, but I love the chaos of Colt Express. The program
on this game. I love this game.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm thinking Flick 'em Up. He hates Flick 'em Up.
Yes, Flick 'em Up I despise.
But yeah,
I love
Colt Express is hilarious. And I love the fact that the board is a 3-dimensional cardboard train. And they built the box and everything so that you can leave it put together to put it all up. So you don't have to assemble a train every single time. I absolutely adore that. The program movement's fun because you have stuff like if it is like Batman, whap, pow, you can shoot the bad guys in the next car over, or if they're in the same car, you can punch them, or you can pick up loot, or you can move the sheriff. There's all these different things you can do, and each person is a little bit asymmetrical because everyone's got one superpower that's slightly different from everyone else. And each round is a little bit different because some of them you put face down so no one knows what you put, and some of them you put face up so they're like, oh, she's going to go up on the top level of the train. And you're trying to guess what everybody's doing.
It's partial hidden information.
Yeah, and it's just enough to totally mess with your mind. So you'll either do really well or just whiff a lot. And it's It's hysterical. It's a lot of fun.
Yep. It's a fun one.
Yep.
It's a fun one. And that was, what year was that?
Oh, Cold Express. I can read. It's
2015.
Right. Give me that.
Game of the year.
Reading this.
You're in charge of saying when you're.
I was in charge of that.
2015 Game of the Year. When we say Game of the Year, that's the main Spiel des Jahres award. Game of the Year award. Not the tricked up one. Kids one or the Connoisseur
Tommy
game.
wants to know if you get Monopoly rules.
No,
questions.
honestly, it's kind of funny because I think what happens is people talk about board games, anything, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You should talk to Hunter.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So if
That's
they talk to their
hilarious.
coworker and they have no clue what they're talking about, they
Yeah.
get sent to me. So they just totally a tangent here, but her and her husband and two other couples have started gaming together.
That's awesome.
And they only know the big non-mainstream, so they played Catan.
That's cool.
And stuff like that. And they're like, well, what else do we play? I said, well, you need to play Ticket to Ride. You need to play King of Tokyo.
Yeah.
I gave them a list of games. She said, oh, we're playing Ticket to Ride this weekend. And was all excited.
That's awesome.
So
I like
she's
that.
just into the budding gamer stage. So
That's exciting.
And my go-to gateway game is King of Tokyo. So I said, if you
Yeah,
don't
you gotta play
mind,
that.
if you don't mind fighting each other and duking it out, King of Tokyo would be perfect.
That's hilarious,
to play.
yeah.
So she's gonna try that one out. So
Yay,
anyway,
that's so cool.
all right. So my number 9 is, speaking of, it is Ticket to Ride.
Because he's got a
Ticket to Ride. So this now, if I was making a list of maybe the most like well-known or most mainstream, or I don't know what the word, how you want to say it. This would be way up the list, but I'm ordering my list on which ones I like the best. So Ticket to Ride's a little further down the list. This is the Game of the Year award for 2004. Wow, that's a long time ago. 15 years ago.
David's still traumatized from Cookie getting killed by him.
Oh, yeah. Cookie. Poor Cookie.
That was a good game.
So, Ticket to Ride
Ride's
is,
good.
if you haven't played this one, it's a route building game. You're playing a set collection, you're collecting cards.
Choo-choo.
Use those cards to build tracks, little railroad things that's represented by little railroad cards. And you're trying to link up different cities to get victory points, and it can be an easy, casual, happy game, or it can be very cutthroat, where you're analyzing what people are doing and trying to block them and things like that. So it has kind of different levels of play. There's the I'm just trying to do my thing and not worry about what everyone else is doing. But then if you're really into it, you can actually block people's routes and make them cranky. So
Why'd you nudge me there? He gave me a subtle, not so subtle nudge. Did you see that? It's on film. I'm just saying.
Ticket to Ride. This is
Interesting.
a good one. This is another go-to gateway game. That's the two I suggested: Ticket to Ride and King of Tokyo. But King of Tokyo didn't make the list.
Huh, interesting.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Interesting. All right, so we're now to my numero. Wait. I remembered the right language.
You were like microscopic.
1 hour of sleep, baby. Yeehaw! All
right.
right. It is just one.
Fresh off the presses.
It is still like whew, smoking hot.
This one won a
So,
couple weeks ago.
It's
Couple
just that
weeks
one
ago?
game, just the one.
Last week? Couple weeks? I don't know.
I don't know. Time has no meaning at this point. But I like this game. I think it's fun. I can't wait to play it with my students this year. And if they really like it, it's one of those that I think because of the price point, it might be something that I could actually afford to just go and get for my kids to have in our little like mini board game collection. And I'm super stoked. It's a really fun group game. And, I thought you said no.
I'm shaking my head at the...
I thought you were saying no, and I was like...
Not you. I'm shaking my head at the question.
Yeah, no.
I did the thing when you're on the phone with someone and you shake your head.
Yeah, even though they can't see it. Yeah, that's
they
cool.
can see me shaking my head.
That's
though.
true. It's kind of weird. We're derailing a little bit tonight, and I apologize for the most rambly top 10 ever. It's probably mostly my fault. But I like this game because it's a game that you don't have to have played games before, and you can teach people how to play this one. Because it's like, okay, you're going to just write this word, but if you guess something that you think, somebody else can guess, it's possible they could get canceled out, and then somebody's stuck with only a couple of clues or one clue or no clue trying to guess what this word is. And it's fun because there's varying complication in the words, right? There's some simple ones and there's some that you're like, I can only think of one way to describe this, and everyone's thinking the same thing. And so you get a little creative.
And a lot of times you double guess yourself, and no one does the obvious one, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to do the obvious one because you
they'll
think
pick
someone
that.
else is doing it,
Write
and
this
then no
down.
one does the obvious
Yeah.
one, and it makes it hard. This is a fun one. This one just missed my list.
Yeah.
So the question I was shaking my head to is King of Tokyo did not win the Spiel. It's not their type of game. Their game is more, I don't want to say Euro-y, but they really don't have like
It's not attacking.
high
right, it's
interaction games. They really don't do those.
You're right.
And I assume it came out in Germany, but I don't know if it did or not. I don't.
Well, some of
know
these
that.
are in German, and I'm not gonna butcher the German.
Yeah, so I don't think King of Tokyo made it. That's a good one. It was on my short list.
It was just one off.
Actually, it wasn't on my short list.
Wow, rude.
Thought it was, but it's not.
Disgusting.
All right, my number 8 is
Yeah, I think it's 8 players.
Camel Up.
Woo woo.
The winner in...
That's a good one.
Like 3 years ago, right? No.
Camel
5
Up.
years ago now. Wow.
2014.
2014.
Oh
It seems
my
like it was just
gosh.
yesterday. So, Camel Up,
Yes,
I've always
baby.
loved this game. This game is like chaos in a box.
Camel Up was just so far away.
I like this game for 2 reasons. One, it's very random, very weird, very... You never know what's going to happen. And part of me...
Is a troll.
Part of me
Oh.
likes the whole analytical part of it.
Oh no, no, you didn't.
Because they go, okay, so this one's gone already.
It's true.
This
It's true.
one
You can't
hasn't
help but wanna
gone
do that.
already.
It's true.
All right, these two are going to go. If this one goes before this one, it's going to move it forward. It's a camel race. So, but what's interesting about it is the camels stack on top of each other, and if a lower one in the stack moves, it moves the entire stack. So there's some strategy to go, okay, well, the one way
Or
down in the
chaos.
stack hasn't gone yet, so it's going to move the whole stack. I like the statistics of I go, okay, well, this one's got 1 in 3 chance of moving first, and then.
But you're usually nice and kind of think out loud.
I do
For
think out
us
loud.
poor saps that are like 12 steps behind going,
I do think out loud.
I-
I'm not. This game, it's like I don't care. So I do all my analysis out loud, and everyone goes, "Oh, I'll take this. I'll take that." I'm like, "Oh, maybe I should."
or I'm like, I think he's wrong, and then I win. No, it doesn't happen that way, but it's fun.
So there you go. Camel Up, a fun little family weight racing game. It won the game of the year. Well, I guess until we say otherwise, it's going to be the main one.
Oh, we're gonna have to put Tommy on notice. He's already trolling with the Camel Cup joke. That's so 2014, Tommy.
Yes, we played Flamme Rouge at the Dice Tower Retreat with Bonacore. And,
Yeah, he loves
and I
playing
really
that
liked
game.
that game. Was really good. It's just
Wait,
it's
another racing game.
yeah.
We're not a huge we're not crazy about racing games.
Right.
We like the quirkier ones, and this one's a little more straightforward, I think.
The one thing
It's
one thing I found about go ahead.
They have the drafting.
Yeah, they drive. If you're
like
behind another
actual
bike and the
physical
bike
drafting
moves, you get
with a
pulled
bike.
along with it.
Yeah, that was
But
cool.
what I thought was weird about it is it seems on the surface like this light little card racing game, but there is so much strategy that if you're not being strategic, your bike just stalls out.
Oh yeah,
It can just stall out. Like you can't
It's
finish.
awesome.
You literally can't. Well, you can finish the race, but you're like at the end. You're
dragging it.
like moving one space at the end. It's got.
It's like
If
biking
you
out
want
in Dallas right now.
a very
middle
strategic racing game, that's one to look into. I think that's why it's
Yes.
popular with some people. Is that it's not just rolling a die and seeing how far you go.
Yeah, like
and
Camel
things
Cup's a bit chaotic sometimes.
But yeah,
But-
it's a good one.
yeah,
I mean, if you
there's a lot
like
more
racing
strategy.
games and it's a card driven game. Basically, you have a hand of
Yeah.
card and you have to decide when to play your high cards and your low cards and things like that. And you can get like doing certain things give you bad cards that clog your deck and things like
Yeah,
that. So
it's true.
It's a cool racing game.
It's pretty cool.
But Camel Up's cool too. My number 8.
My number 8, may shock Hunter. Occasionally, I like to shock
It doesn't
him.
shock me. You
value.
like this game. We haven't played it forever.
We
Though.
haven't played it in a while, and it's about time because I'm sure we have to check it off our list.
Yes,
But-
it's a to be played.
It sounds all fancy because it is El Grande. I just like the way that sounds. It's really cool. But this game is, I think it's one of those. It's just a classic game. It's it is old. 1996. Woo woo! I graduated from high school that year. I'm so old. But
And it's what's funny. What's I find. Well, not to interrupt you.
No,
What I
you're
find
good.
interesting is this is a fairly heavy game, and it was the game of the year.
Yeah,
and
that's
not
impressive.
not the gamer game. The
this was the actual just regular.
somewhere in the dark ages of time, like last year, I did by the numbers that showed the Spiel is getting much
Lighter than it used to be.
And so El Grande won the game of the year.
Wow.
It might not even make the Connoisseur game. It's so heavy.
That's awesome.
Compared to today. So go ahead.
That's awesome. No, you're fine. Because I like that game, and I think it's got that classic feel to it, especially every time we pull it out. B, it's got a really cool. It's got the tower is made up of pieces that are heavy, like the flicky car game. All of a sudden, my brain.
Pitch car.
Pitch car. It feels like the pitch car track. It's heavy, thick, cardboard or pressed wood.
Yeah.
And it's a tower you build. And I don't usually like the area control game, but the map is unique, and the way you manipulate the board and the way the turns run is unique. I don't think there's any game that quite does it the same way. And it's fun too because besides putting stuff on the map, you can drop cubes in the tower, but you really, I don't know why it's so brain melty, but just the fact that you can't see those cubes and you have to remember throughout the entire run how many you put in and how many you think the other person put in, because the majority is going to get to do something neat with it. So you want to try to have the majority in there if you can. But inevitably, I thought I put more in there. There's always that one moment you pull it up and you're like, this is not the number I thought we put in. So it's really fun to try to, especially play it late at night, right? When your memory's starting to fade a little bit. But yeah, I like the area control, which is unusual, and the unique card play.
Yeah, I think it's area control without the I'm bringing my troops in to kill your troops feel to it,
might
right?
Be part of
it's
it,
just
I think.
Cubes, and there's a lot of manipulation of those cubes, of where you can move cubes and moving cubes around.
A lot of the action cards that you're picking up has everything to do with that. If you have a certain amount here, I swap with you or something like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy to figure out. I don't think it's got a nice elegance to the fact that it's fairly straightforward. Once you do a round, you're going to understand exactly how to play the game.
And it's kind of a bare bones. I mean, it's a slightly heavy game, but it's heavier game. But it's kind of a bare bones area control, right? There's no combat. There's no sort of thing. There's no
implied,
dice rolling.
Right?
No,
it's implied, but it's not actually there. Hey, that's cool. Adrian won Yeet. I don't know what the YT is, sorry. Yeet. It just looked like Yeet. I've been hanging out with teenagers for a week, guys. I apologize. She's hoping to play Camelot for the first time next week. That's really cool. Have fun. I think you guys will enjoy it.
Just be ready for chaos and take it for what it is.
Yeah, enjoy it as a light, silly game, because it's pretty fun.
All right, my number 7. Another game of the year, an oldie from 2003. We'll probably see this one a little later. Alhambra.
It's on your list.
I like Alhambra. I just don't like the 2-player. I don't like the dummy player, 2-player version.
How rude. Did you hear that?
I like Alhambra. It's a great game.
On camera, no less.
I mean, it's basically, in a lot of ways,
it's
an economic game, right? Because...
don't ruin it for me.
So you're basically, it's a tile drafting game. You basically purchase tiles and you put them in your little Alhambra. And you're trying to you get majority in different types of buildings. Also, you're trying to build this wall all the way around, the longest route around your little Alhambra. But what I like about it is there's 4 different currencies in the game, and you're collecting those currencies. It's almost like a set collection, and you use those currencies to buy those buildings. But what's the tricked up part, and what I like about it, the reason I like the game is if you can purchase with exact change. I don't know if it's an American saying or what.
No.
If you pay exact change, exact amount that the building costs, you get to take another turn, and you can do that over and over and over again. So so it's got the pressure luck. It's got a pressure luck mechanism to it that's kind of implied, not implied, but kind of behind the scenes. Is that you're looking at the building, it's like, okay, I've got enough to buy this building with exact change. Now I want to try to get a second building I can buy with exact change, so I can chain them off of each other. But if you wait too long, someone's going to buy the building you have exact change for, and then you throw your cards in the air and you scream.
Yeah. It's fun.
But it's a really solid kind of light. I keep using the word light. I watched a video where on the dice tower where it was Z. It was like they're annoying players, and it's the guy that calls everything light. I think that's me.
Oh, you've been at it.
I don't know if he was talking specifically about me, but it felt like it was specifically about me. But anyway,
that's funny.
Alhambra, it's a fun little game if you like tile.
No, it's a medium
placement
game. It's a medium game. It's cool.
I like it. Like
It is.
I just don't like the 2-player to kind of jump in.
No.
The 2-player
He's joking
version.
about the dummy
the
player.
way 2-player works is you play just the game normally as 2-player, but then at the end of every scoring round, you just grab a handful of tiles out of the bag, and that's what the 3rd player bought. So you have no clue what's being bought. A lot of times, like if you're going to the majority in a building, you can go, oh wait, she just bought one. If I want to keep my majority, I need to keep going. You could literally have majority in 2 things, and then you draw the tiles randomly out of the bag, and now you have majorities in nothing.
Nothing. Literally.
So the next time we play, we're going to do...
We're going to house rule it.
Every time we take a turn, we take one tile out of the bag, and
Instead
then
of
we
lumping it all
whatever's
in.
left over that we're supposed to draw, we draw at
Which
the
you
end.
think that's what the player's actually doing.
Right, so
it makes more sense.
that there's basically that person's buying one tile each time, so you can react to if they start getting a bunch of what color you have majority in, you can go and buy some more of those to keep your majority.
Indeed.
So, Alhambra, my number 7.
Very good, very good. My number 7 is a well-loved family classic, and that is
classic.
Yes.
Oh
Hare
man.
and the Tortoise.
What?
Hare and the Tortoise. It won.
That's a kid's game.
Yeah, I gotta look. 79? Is that right?
Yeah, it won the. No, that's a different game.
Oh, well.
I
Did I-
think you.
did I just put the wrong
I
one on?
think you just messed up.
Well, there's an asterisk, and I still say this game rocks. If that Hare and Tortoise
That's a
sucks.
completely different game.
Okay, fine. Then I will change my edit for my number.
Now, what's your number 7 now? Because this is not the same game.
My number 7 now is Camel Up. Because.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about Hare and the Tortoise in a second.
Okay, that's one that's like crazy heavy or some weirdness, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh no. Oh, something else.
It's
Okay.
crazy mathy.
All right. That's me.
So talk about Camel Up.
I didn't even look at the year until just now, obviously. But Camel Up, we talked about that already. We have the original cardboard pyramid and pieces and stuff. I think the new one's plastic, which will probably last a lot longer in the old long run. But other than that, I think kind of pretty much said everything. It's a great game. It's a little bit I think it's a little bit above a gateway game sometimes because for some people, it's a lot to take in at once. I've had a lot of people get easily confused with this one at first about how the betting works because you're betting on rounds and you can also bet on the winner and the loser for the entire race instead of just a lap or whatever you want to call it. And so that confuses people, and sometimes the choices between do I want to pick those or roll, that it's a lot for someone to take in. So you might not want to throw this one out as the very first game. It depends. If they're used to playing betting games, I don't think there'll be a problem. But if they've not played anything with any kind of betting...
That's a good point you brought up because you're right. Every time we have new players play, it always confuses them that you can bet on who's going to be in the lead after all the dice are rolled, and you also bet on a final winner and loser.
Yeah.
And that's very confusing. It's like, well, am I betting on who's winning? No, you're betting on who's going to be ahead after that round of the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Hare and the Tortoise, the original Hare and the Tortoise is a crazy mathy game from the 70s.
That's right. You told me it was mathy.
Basically,
We heard about that once.
you're collecting. I think I did by the numbers on it.
Or we talked about it.
I don't
remember.
But anyway, you're collecting all these carrots, and you can play as many as you want. You can play like 50 carrots and move 50 spaces ahead. But you have to have there's like a system of you have to buy cabbages, and it's really you have to have a certain number of cabbages at the end. It's like a giant math problem.
Okay, pass.
It's a giant math problem.
That's not the Hare and the Tortoise I like.
Because you could stall out. If you go really far ahead, then you're going to stall out because it's going to take you a while to get your engine building again. And and you have to have the exact right amount of carrots to finish. It's very, very strange.
Thing. Yep.
Very strange. But anyway.
So, yeah.
Different Hare than the Tortoise.
Okay. Camel Up.
My number 6. The first gamer game. It was already mentioned in the chat.
Whoop whoop.
7 Wonders.
Excellent pick.
So it's the gamer game of the year. That's what they call it. Connoisseur Game of the Year for 2011. So 7 Wonders is a card drafting game. It's kind of representative of a civilization game. You're yawning.
I'm trying not to.
So it's representative of civilization. Basically, you're drafting cards. You're basically the first round or so. You're basically, for the most part, you're gathering resources you're going to use to build the buildings that you're going to build later in the game. Eventually, at the end, you're going to be building buildings that give you, massive amounts of victory points.
Yep.
And you also can collect things along the way. You can collect different types of science that give you victory points. You can collect, I don't know what they call them. We call them the victory point cards, the blue cards. They give you straight victory points.
Yeah.
So and there's also military, and you're fighting against your neighbors to the left and the right of the table. You fight against them in the military. So it's kind of a Civ game, but it's boiled down into a kind of a card drafting game.
Yeah.
So this is not on the lighter side. I mean, it's interesting for as weighty as this game feels. I've taught it to people that aren't like big time gamers. So
and it clicks. It's interesting. It is fascinating.
The only thing that really doesn't click is the whole buying things from your neighbors.
Yeah, because you usually have to pay, right? But in this case, they just have to have it. They don't actually turn in a card, and that can be.
That was the last time we taught someone. They kept trying to turn in their resources. Like, no, you keep those.
Which, I was going to say, they're making it really hard on themselves if that's the case.
You keep all your resources.
Yeah, but that's true. It's not a gateway game, but it almost is because of that. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of meaty. I think a non-gamer, you're just going to blow their mind.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, especially the military. You've got the military.
There's a lot of little
different
things
aspects
to say.
it, and everything is a little bit different how you handle them.
Yeah. But it's a good one. I enjoy it.
Very good.
It's kind of just, I guess right now it's just kind of there. I mean, I will play it.
And it's this high on your list.
Well, I should tell you about the Spiel winners. There's a lot of the gamer ones I like, but a lot of the straight Spiels. But no, it's a great game. It's a good game. We've just played it a lot.
We played the tar out of it. We played.
It's not one I will grab off the shelf and go, hey, let's play Seven Wonders. But if you say, hey, let's play Seven Wonders, I'll be like, okay.
I love it. I like playing it, and I forget. We haven't played it for a while, and I forget just how much I like it until we pull it out again.
We played it during the tournament.
Game.
We're trying to sneak.
I love this game.
We're trying to sneak bigger, heavier games into our yearly.
Well, because everybody that's coming lately has been somebody that's playing a lot of games. It's different if it's not the case, but it's pretty fun. So, yep, that's a good one.
All right,
very good.
Number 6.
Is
it the game you thought it was?
Hush.
You're tired. I'll give you a pass.
Oh, you better. All right, so.
Hey, look at that.
I like this game, A, because the name's in Latin. And B, it's just cool. And that's Dixit. This game
I knew this would be
is language free. All of the cards are trippy pictures, and that's it. And then you have these goofy little bunnies that help you keep track of the score. It is a trippy game. It's Alice in Wonderland. What just happened? Where did I jump through? Where? Crazy.
Should have leaned over more when you see me drink.
I'm drinking your water? Yeah, whatever.
So down behind the Dixit
you're trying to get people to guess. Everyone's got a hand of like 7 cards. And then you're going to say a word or a phrase.
Or you tell a whole story.
Song, or you tell a ridiculously long story that only had one keyword in it. Anyway, I'm not talking about anyone specifically or anything. But what you want to get the maximum points is you want somebody to be able to guess it, but not everybody to guess it. Because if nobody guesses it, you don't get points. If everybody guesses it, you don't get points. But if you trick some people, you get points. It's really cool.
The best is to get one people to get it. One person to get it right. One meeple.
So yeah, when the Canadians are the only ones that get it. No, it's just but no, it's a really fun game. Sometimes we'll just, if we have time, it's one of those you almost don't want to score it, right? You just want to see who's in the lead. You can just play it. They have expansion packs, so if you play the game a lot, you can get even more trippy cards. And eventually,
we stopped buying them after our stack got like this big.
It fills the box now. It's ridiculous. But the one thing there's a couple cards in there now that we snicker about if we see them because they have like a backstory behind them now. Because there was that one memorable clue. It will happen. You're gonna be like, oh, it's that card again. You almost just want to say it when you get it, right? But then you have to think of a new clue using that card. Oh, it's tough. I like it.
Dan just had a round of genius, and we're going to try this.
What?
Playing Dixit with times up rules.
I love that, Dan.
The first round you can do whatever you want. The second round is one word, and the third round is just make a sound.
You just use the same set of cards.
And then in the last round, you do like a post.
With those trippy cards. Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome.
We should practice it and do a live play.
You know what?
Ooh.
We could actually play Dixit live.
How? Oh, they'd guess?
Yeah, we basically, I would have a...
Oh, you could...
I would put down a card, and you would put down like 2 or 3 cards, and then we'd throw a couple of random cards in, and they try to guess the one that's right.
And Dixit, I'm making notes. Good
That's
job. Mad props to Dan. He gets the gold star for the evening.
That's actually a good
That
idea.
is a beautiful thing.
You guys can guess and keep score at home which one you think it is.
I like you guys so much.
Dixit's a good one. I like Dixit. It's a fun game.
Very
Again, that's
cool.
another one I won't turn down, but I won't pick.
And that's one that you can play with. You could do it in a language classroom. You could do it with your family that if you know that came visiting from a different country and you all stick. You can do a lot with it, and I really like that about the game.
My number 5 was already mentioned.
Say what?
What is it?
Colt Express.
It is Colt Express.
So yep, that's pretty cool.
Smokey just made a weird sound.
Yes, he did.
What?
What'd you do?
I just spoiled your number 5 is what I just did.
Spoilers! Good job there, Haas.
Sorry. It's like a premonition of what may happen.
I have a sense.
Colt Express. So I am not a fan of program movement games,
What? No way.
but
I never would have known that.
But for some weird reason, I like Colt Express because it's so hilarious. It is hilarious. I love it.
It actually is really fun. I really, really, really like it.
If you're playing with me, I have to be the one that does the resolution of the cards because I think it's so friggin' funny.
Yep.
Because you got people punching the air, you have someone that's shooting and no one's there, or they shoot someone they weren't expecting to shoot, or they reach to grab loot, but there's no loot because someone stole it the turn before them. It is hilarious. I love this game.
Yeah, it's fun.
But for whatever reason, I can turn off my "you screwed up my turn" anger with this game for some reason.
This game, I think because you take it for what it is, it's a silly light game. It's not a serious, like, you're trying to build something up game that you just had dashed to pieces because somebody...
For whatever reason,
messed up your
I
move.
tolerate this game,
Yeah.
but I played Lords of Ziddick, if you ever played that game.
Yeah.
It's a program movement game, and by the second round of that game, I was checked out and angry because in that game, you could literally have a turn and do nothing because someone messed it up.
Ooh.
And you can
That would get rough.
you can kind of predict. You're like, okay, I think Rebecca's going to do this and this and that.
Maybe.
So I'm going to go
But you
over
don't know.
here the opposite direction and do something else. And what does Rebecca do? Goes that way and does what I was wanting to do. I'm like, what? You should... yeah.
Yeah, that's that game.
But for whatever reason, Colt Express,
Doesn't
I just
do
think
that.
it's funny. I laugh. I don't care if I win or lose that game. I want to see funny... I want to see hilarious stuff happen. Is
And
what I
that is
want to
the
see.
best. That's the best. Gaming Wife says, hey, do you name the cards? She's going back to Dixit real quick. Would the Sleeping Mask game cards work better because the cards are labeled?
Oh, what you means for the live play? I would put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
table.
we'd number them or something.
I'd put numbers on
We'd
the
just
table.
number them so it'd be easier for
I'd
you
put
guys.
numbers on the
we
table.
could still use them. But that's a fun idea as an alternate as well. Very cool.
All right,
So,
onward to the game I spoiled.
what game is it? I have this presence in the room. It feels like Alhambra.
Oh, I didn't say Colt Express, but it was already mentioned. 2015.
Yeah, we already talked about it.
Yeah.
That is so 2015. All right. Alhambra, we already discussed as well. The only thing I could really add to what Hunter said is, oddly enough, I don't play a lot of board games as an app on the phone because to me, it's just my opinion, but to me, it's a board game. I want to play it as a board game. But since we don't get to play Alhambra very much because we don't like that 2-player variant, for some reason, I don't mind as much playing the app. And I think because you can say that you're playing a 3-player game and just play 2 of the people or something.
Right.
And then I'm like playing even more Alhambra. And I really like playing the app. The app's really cool. It's really easy to use and learn how to play. So just if you're an app player, you might check that one out because I think it's really good. I love this game.
Yeah, it's a good
Like you
one.
said, all the different coinage. just trying to get that card before somebody else gets it. You're like saving up for exact change, and someone's like, I'll just pay a little extra, and they snipe it out from under you. It's fun. It's a good game. And the puzzle of trying to build the wall and making a nice long wall around it without painting yourself into a corner, so to speak. It's pretty good.
It's a good one.
There you go.
All right, we're in my top 4. You know what that means. It's time for the gamer games.
Woo-hoo.
Here they come.
Gamer games.
My number 4
What's he called, gamer
is already been mentioned.
Because it's awesome.
It is El Grande. I like El Grande. I wish we could play this game more.
Honestly, yeah.
It plays fine 2-player, but I think it would be so
I think
much
it'd be
better
very different.
I sounded weird. So.
Did you have sugar?
I had caffeine.
Okay.
So, El Grande is fine as a 2-player game, but as a general, area control is better with more players. And I think we have never played this anything but 2-player.
You're right.
So I'm curious how it would play with more, because I think there would be a lot more interaction.
Yeah.
Because in 2-player, it's you or them, right? You either have majority or not. There's not like that person has one over here and this person has some over here.
Yeah, there's gonna
and
be a weird balance, right?
It's like an on-off switch, right? There's not.
We duked it out.
You're not competing against multiple people for spots.
Yeah, you're just trying to get the most places at that point.
It's very very strange.
It's a good one.
And I think it'd be better with more players, but I really like it. It just never gets played.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's true. All right, my number 4. Right, we're on number 4.
Yep.
Was this your number 10?
Yes.
Okay. I was like, you either won't mention it or it'll be on the bottom of your list every time. And that's Azul. And if you watch this channel, you know I am a huge fan of Azul. I like abstract games, and I like this one even more because it brought life and color back into abstracts. Because a lot of abstracts, up until very recently, are usually really bland, very stark artwork or stark colors, if they have color. And it's nice to see
now
something.
It's blue.
Yeah. You know, and you're like, whoa. It changes nothing. It's still boring. But no, this is cool because it's gorgeous. It's got fun art. You just have to tell people not to eat the pieces. Because they really do look like starbursts. In fact, Hunter made a joke about that. You don't still have that nasty candy in there, do you?
Azul Legacy.
Yeah, we made a joke about that.
I think I finally took all the Starbursts out of it.
Oh, thank goodness, because I was gonna say we're gonna collect ants or something if you keep
No,
that.
I took them out. Yeah, Azul Legacy.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, but it is a cool game, and you're making this beautiful. You're doing art, okay? I'm trying to English, and I'm not doing too well tonight.
Making a mosaic.
Boom! What he said with tile pieces, and you don't want to drop your tiles because then you get negative points. But that's the kicker, because you have to take all of one type. It's a lot of fun, and I really like the strategy involved with that. And I find this one like pleasantly light. It's one of those games you can teach everybody. It'll take them a little longer to pick up on the strategy, but they're going to find that highly enjoyable once they do. I think this is a gateway game. I enjoy it. Boom. Mic drop.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
There you go.
All right, my number 3. Keep the gamer games rolling. Let's see.
Santorini is gorgeous, but Santorini is white, right? The actual city. So
white and blue. Yeah.
Pretty.
All right, here we go. Number 3. This should be in the regular Spiel category, but it won this year's Gamer Game Award. It is all the hotness, all the greatness, all the hype of Wingspan.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3 game, 2019 Gamer Game of the Year.
It's pretty awesome.
So Wingspan is awesome. It's a family favorite. It's almost borderline gateway. It does have a little bit of weirdness with the chaining of the cards. It's somewhat complicated. But it's a card drafting game. You're drafting those cards. You're putting them in your tableau. It also has resource management. It has all kinds of combos and craziness going on. It's beautiful. If you like birds, it's got all kinds of bird information.
Yeah, it's awesome if you like birds.
It's got cute little eggs.
They're adorable.
The opponents
you
are
can't
off
eat
the
those
charts.
either.
Although we need to, I really want to upgrade the chits for the resources.
Oh, I was like, what? The eggs. I was like,
No, the eggs are awesome. The little chits
Oh,
for
okay.
all the resources. That'd be cool to upgrade.
It's true. It's
But
true.
I like it. A lot of times the games that are crazy hyped, I don't necessarily like as well. This one, I like it. It's a good one. I mean, it didn't like blow me away like, whoa, this is the best game ever invented. But it's a really cool game. It's a fun game.
We might have.
I like that there's many different ways to win. A lot of people do different combos. A lot of people do just let's see how many bazillion eggs they can collect. Some people do the birds that eat other birds, and you stack cards and you get victory points for those. And it's
a bird world.
I like
out
it.
there.
It's a good game. If you like card drafting games, it's not really card drafting. Card tableau building, card purchasing. It's not really drafting. I guess you're kind of, but really purchasing them more than drafting them.
Truth.
But it's a fun game, and Nessa plays it. It's a cool one.
Yep. So it's true. All right, my number 3 is the granddaddy of the deck builders. No one's surprised that it's on my list, except maybe that it's at number 3, and that is Dominion. I still am perfectly happy throwing down the base game and playing it, or getting out my box of awesomeness that Hunter made and playing a whole mishmash of all the games. It's so good. I like Dominion. Okay. Theme? Okay. Not much of a theme.
It's got medieval-ish.
Okay, whatever. But it's not really about the theme in this one. It's about the actions that the cards do and the combinations they're in. They made it revolve around that to the point that the theme doesn't matter. You can make it about princesses and buttercups, or medieval theme, or I don't know, Fireball Island theme. You could do you could put any theme on it. It doesn't matter. It's about the actions.
You could literally take the pictures off and just put symbols for what you're doing.
Or just leave
right?
it blank and put the actions. It'd be ugly.
Yeah.
But and the art and stuff is cool, and they do actually try to keep that from being boring. So it's not like the art's boring. It's just the theme is kind of yeah. But everything else about it's pretty cool. They've got some, for the most part, I think all of the expansions and sequels and everything else are pretty solid. We have a couple that were kind of...
Alchemy's the one everyone picks on. Because it radically changes the game in a bad way, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It throws in some kind of resource management type
Well, it
crap.
has that weird extra resource,
Pardon my language.
But yeah, it's just... I don't know. Yeah, I don't like that one at all.
Yeah.
At all. The rest of them, though, I enjoy. So, anywho, if you have not played it yet, and you think you might like to play with cards and things like that, this is a great deck builder game. Everyone's picking from the same pool of cards, and it's just how you combine yours to make the best deck builder to go and gain those victory points, people.
Yep.
There you go.
I like it. Not enough to be on my list.
Oh, and you can set it up to be attacking each other or not. That's a nice thing, too. It's versatile, so you can do both. Or neither.
My number 2 is Village.
Oh, hey, lady.
Village!
There you go.
Village!
That was... I saw it.
2012 Gamer Game.
Was it? Oh, look at you. Oh, it's on the other page.
I got them all written down.
Okay.
Village! So I love Village. Village is the quintessential
Ooh, look at those fancy
cube
words.
pushing game. So basically you're gathering cubes, you're spinning those cubes to get cool things, using those cool things to eventually get victory points.
Yep.
There's many different ways that you can go about getting victory in Village. There's it's almost like mini games.
Yep.
Reminds me a little bit of Trajan in that aspect. There's different sections of the boards that do different things. So you have a section that's like crafting, so you build all the different plows and different things like that. There's another section over here that's the church. You go to the church to get you spend bread and you get victory points for how far along you go in the path on the church. And then over here there's the town hall or the mayor's office. I don't know what they call it, but you also move along that and you get different benefits. Then up at the top you got travel. You can travel across the lands and get victory points that way. Or you can go, once you take all your stuff you collect, you go to the market and sell it and you get victory points that way. So there's lots of different ways to play the game, lots of different ways to win. Your people age and die.
I was going to say, David just mentioned that he's like, you're talking about all the perks of the game, and he's like, and watching your villagers die.
Yeah, so there's there's all that going on, and then there's another layer of strategy where as time goes by, your villagers die, so the oldest villagers die, so you have to put them in specific places, because when they die, they come off the board and they go to the cemetery, And if they're in an area where you're trying to move along a path and they die, boop, they're not on that path anymore, and you have to start all over with a different villager. So you have to kind of strategically do your youngers workers in places where they're going to live longer, and as the game gets close to the end, you may kind of slow down on aging them because you don't want some of the ones that are in key positions to die.
Are they the ones with Botox?
I don't. But anyway, it is a really fun game. It's one of my favorite. It's in my top 30 or 40 games of all time.
That's true.
So I really love this one. What kind of name? Village.
Tis fun.
Village. I'm starting to think we have the same number one. We're notorious for this.
Except that it's not the same.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Did you look?
No, I don't have to look. I know it's not.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Istanbul.
Oh, it's not the same.
Yeah, I
just spoiled my number 1.
Yeah, you did.
So I'll just go ahead and jump in. My number 1 is Istanbul. So
who'd have thought? Because it's an awesome game. They had, was it 1 or 2 expansions?
2.
There's 2.
There's like the postage system, and then there's like coffee.
Yeah, and we fell in love with the game so much at first we were kind of like, do we want to mess with it and get the expansion? Because sometimes expansions get too busy. In a game like this, you don't want to wreck it because you just love it. I just love it. And you've got different... They're like on their own little pieces, and you put it together like a little puzzle. And each time you can make it the same game every time, or you can make it unique and mix them up. Yes, it's Constantinople. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. He's over here dancing. Oh, they're saying it in the chat. Troublemakers. But yeah, it's neat. So every time you can make a different game different. The game is, different every time. And those 2 expansions are really cool. They change the game. They add more places you can go. They add another resource or 2 or 3. There's a bunch of resources. Coffee and... some other spice thing, and I don't know. It is the wrong time to be asking me for details.
Messages.
But, you can deliver messages. There's also the crooked cousin or whatever, or nephew, or I just love it when they have some weird off the wall thing, and it's like out of left field. All of a sudden in the game, you've got this little dude who's your crooked nephew or something, and you can send them to go do something. But if the other player catches up to them and lands in the same spot, they go to jail, and you have to bail them out to get them to run chores again. It's the funniest thing. I mean, where did that come from? Why did they do that? It's awesome, though. But it's just weird. But it's a fun game, and you're going and trying to collect those rubies are worth... Well, you gotta collect a certain amount of them to win the game.
Right. They're basically victory points.
Yeah, they're victory points. Love it.
So, yeah,
it's
Istanbul,
so
that's my number 1 game. I thought for sure this would be Rebecca's number 1, but now I know what her number 1 is.
Of course you do.
So, Istanbul, we basically, like she said, played the base game for years and years, and finally we said, okay, we're going to buy the expansions, and we did. Mm-hmm. And we enjoyed them so much. There's a version where you can play the Grand Bazaar, which uses everything.
Is cool.
You have this massive grid of locations.
That is cool.
And it is fun.
That game is cool.
It also takes away, there is actually some ways to break the game, and they intentionally, in the Grand Bazaar, design it in such a way that it's not broken. And by that, there is a combo where you go to one spot to get money and go to another spot to buy the rubies, and if they're close together, you can just boop, 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 vibrate between the two and get a bunch of points. They potentially position those far apart so that doesn't happen. But I love the Grand Bazaar. It is so much fun. I like all the expansions. Like I said, it gives you so many more choices. Any game where you get more choices, I like more choices, more ways to win. Mm-hmm. But you're basically building up your resources in different ways, different types of resources, different things to eventually get rubies. So you can get money, you can get a bunch of different types of goods, you can deliver a bunch of messages, you can do all sorts of things. You can gamble. I love gambling.
Yeah, that's true. The little gambling thing's funny in that. It's pretty fun.
And you have all kinds of special powers you can get that give you different abilities, like re-rolls of dice and things like that. It's just got a lot going on, and it's a really solid game. One of my favorite games.
It is, and that's another one we have to get played.
Yeah.
Grand Bazaar time.
Grand Bazaar.
I love it. So awesome.
All right, so tell me about Wingspan.
Wingspan is my number 1, for sure. It grew on me. This was the first game that I truly just ate up playing solo player, and I don't play solo games very often. And if I do, I don't usually enjoy them, because to me, board gaming is a more than one person thing. But I liked it single player. I liked it 2-player. I liked it with everybody. I like this game. It's got the gorgeous Audubon Society style artwork for all of the birds, and I love birds, and it's gorgeous. It's got little factoids on it. I really enjoyed that. And it's just a nice, you've got your personal little tableau that you build up and try to do things, and it's kind of worker placement. And I really appreciated that, because I don't know, it's just kind of fun to build your own tableau and try to build your little engine up. And it's funny to think of an engine with nests and eggs, but it's basically what you're doing.
But it reminds me of Deus a lot. That the rows fire off. They fire off.
Your abilities can stack. If you get a good lineup of cards and you fire that off, you can get a crazy amount of resources or victory points, or depending on which row you're using. And it's just a neat game. If you haven't played it, I know you hear a lot of hype about that one. But if that style of game appeals to you, or you just like really pretty games, you really should hunt this one down at some point. I think you'd really enjoy it. Worth the hype.
Cool. Can't argue. It's a good one. So
I agree. Kabuki Wingspan is better than Deus. I do think I would officially do that.
So I completely forgot to mention at the start of the video. Down in the description of the video, we have a link to the Wikipedia page that shows all the winners. Basically, what I printed off here has all. It's a Wikipedia page that has all the winners. I don't know if we mentioned Istanbul was the Gamer Game of the Year in 2014.
Oh, okay.
So
you wanted to look at your
so there's a grouping that we left off that's kind of, they call it special awards. A couple of games that might have made my list. Just looking at them quickly. In 2018, they gave a special award to Pandemic Legacy Season 2. Also on the list there is Agricola Kalis, which I wouldn't give, but I know it's a good. A lot of people love Kalis. Shadows over Camelot. Some of the big ones. I'm trying to look at any of the other ones I recognize. Lord of the Rings, the Reiner Knizia game. What else? A lot of these are in German, so I don't recognize them. The Rubik's Cube got a Solitaire award.
Orient Express. I saw that.
I've never played Orient Express.
Oh, I just saw it. I was going to say that wasn't in German. Incognito. That's not German. Rubik's Cube? Like the Rubik's Cube? It was in 1980, though, in their defense.
So there you go. There is our Spiel winners. I got a couple. I made a list. When I made my list, I put 16 games on my list. So I guess this would be considered my short list. Ice Cool, Broom Service, Settlers of Catan, even though I'm not as big a fan. When I originally started playing Catan, I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, but not so much now. Carcassonne, Zularetto, and King Domino.
Was Zularetto on there too?
Yeah, it's
I missed it.
Yeah, it's on the...
Okay.
It is...
And King Domino, definitely. Oh, 2007. Huh. There you go. Yeah, I was looking at these. It was actually a fairly tough list to make because of that.
There's a whole slew of
games.
There's
a whole bunch of them.
Been.
Now, is that... I don't think I've played the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, but I've heard that name.
It's been remade recently.
Oh, that's why I've heard it. Okay. And the other one that I got to give a shout out to, though, is Scotland Yard.
We haven't played it. Oh, did you play
it? When I was a kid. Oh, yeah. My family played Scotland Yard.
I had never played Scotland Yard.
Yeah, it's cool. I remember that. I was little. I remember my family playing it, and I kind of played around with it. I didn't play it because I was too little, but... I just know that was a huge hit, and that's really awesome. It's 1983. That's so cool. But yeah, it's kind of fun to look back at these. Quirkle, I had a lot of friends in college that just played Quirkle to death. I think I actually still have Quirkle somewhere. So yeah, there's some goodies, guys. There's a lot of goodies.
It's on our shelf somewhere, I think.
Yeah, I'm positive it is. So, anywho. But yeah, there's a lot of really good games out there. And it's kind of nice that they have something like the Spiel, even though, as we get heavier into the hobby, we might poo-poo some of the choices and this and that, but at the same time it gets that publicity out there and more people are aware of, like, there's a lot more board games out there, this is really cool and this and that, so that's pretty awesome. So
a lot of people mentioned Quacks of Quedlinburg. Rebecca hasn't played it.
I still haven't played it.
I played it at every year at the Board Game Geek. They bring all 9 nominees to the show, and I try to play all of them. I played it. Here's the thing about Quacks. I understand why people like this game. I understand why it's a popular game.
Quack.
But that game just makes me angry.
Really?
And I usually like press your luck games, but usually I like press your luck where it's like in conjunction. The whole table are kind of pressing their luck together.
Okay.
But this one, you literally can, on your turn, draw 3 bad tiles out of the bag and your turn's over.
Oh. That would be how I
mean,
would
statistically, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, oh my gosh, you just want to punch people because everyone else is around. Oh, look what I got! Oh, I got something cool! Oh, I got something amazing! Look, I'm doing great. And you're over here just waiting for the turn to end.
Like, please make this stop. Yeah, that's awesome.
No, man, that game just makes me so mad.
To play it.
Because
Better Play Can't Stop. I love Can't Stop. That is the best.
Now, see, I don't mind Can't Stop because you're not going to roll the dice 3 times and your turn's over. I guess you can if you play really horribly, but odds are you're going to get to play for a little while.
Tough,
but you could just have a really bad turn in Quacks, and that happens. So, another thing that got me, and this is what really got me, because I only played it one time. I was annihilating Tommy. Tommy's in the chat. I was just destroying him. I mean, it was just like. It wasn't even close. And then all these crazy catch-up mechanisms started popping up in the game.
Okay.
And he just blew past me like I was standing still.
Them's the breaks, kid.
That game, that was a flip-the-table game for me because it just...
It's true. You let Tommy win, you'll never hear the end of it.
But if you're just like, this is fun, I don't care.
Then you're good.
Then you're fine. But
so you
man,
just need to chill out.
That game... It's got a special place in the pit of my, I don't know. Something.
In the pit of your heart? I'm terrified.
Of anger.
What's this thing look like?
There's a little grain of anger that's in me permanently from that game. No, I think if I could just turn on my Colt Express mindset.
See, you'd be fine.
And then play it, I'd be okay. But,
there you go.
But I didn't go into that mindset. I was like really into it, and it was just...
And then you just messed up like a crazy person. Crazy person. But yeah, I see a lot of people chatting about that.
Tommy,
about the
I am not lying. There was a card that literally said, if you're losing, you get a bazillion points that we flipped over.
A bazillion? This is the best game ever.
We literally flipped over a card that says, if you're losing, you get all this cool stuff. And I'm like, what card is that?
Sounds like when you're playing Mario Kart.
He got the shell that flies and blows up the leader. That's what the card that we flipped.
And then Hunter flipped the table, and everyone's flipping things.
I think Tommy's saying on lying that I was annihilating him. I think that's the part he's saying I'm lying about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't be bitter.
Yeah, they should call it Quacks the Catch-Up Mechanism. That's what that game should be called. Oh,
man, you're hating
because if you're losing, you get all these benefits. If you crap out, you get all these benefits. And there's cards that help the people that are losing. It's just like catch-up mechanism the game.
See, if you treat it like it's Mario Kart, you're fine. I haven't played it yet, so I.
So, do you have any honorable mentions? I think you kind of went through the list.
Yeah,
already.
Because honestly, a lot of my honorable mentions were the ones that you listed that I didn't. To be completely honest, and I think I threw down some of the others. I mean, the Rubik's Cube thing, Scotland Yard, Rummy Cube, Rummy Cub, whatever you guys call it.
Rummy Cub.
I don't know why we always called it Rummy Cube.
Yeah, I was making a list. I was looking to see. I've played like all the modern ones, and then you get back into the
other ones,
90s,
and you just
haven't played any of the older games.
It's interesting, yeah. So, but you guys, it's neat to see. See, Orleans should have beaten Broom Service.
Broom Service was okay.
Broom Service is cute though. It's a cute game.
Something about that game made me angry. Games make me angry, I guess.
Man, you got anger issues.
What was it about Broom Service that I didn't like?
I don't know.
I really enjoyed the game, but there was like one piece of it I didn't like.
You lost?
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it.
Targi. Ooh, Targi's so good. It was up against
Village is a good game.
Ooh, that's rough.
Village is
that's
good.
rough.
Kingdom Builder should have gotten beat. That's not even...
Yeah.
Kingdom Builder's a weird game.
It is weird. Las Vegas, it should have won.
Splinter should have won.
Ooh! Man, Kabuki's just being a troll tonight. Concordia should have beaten Istanbul. That's a close
one to me. Concordia was a...
I like both of them.
They
a
both have really
lot.
cool mechanisms.
But Istanbul, I think, by
Yeah,
that
I
much.
like Istanbul
It's
better.
a Maxwell Smart.
All right, folks. I have no idea how long we've been. How long have we been going?
Oh, we've rambled
Oh,
for
we're
an
over
hour.
an hour,
We
over
went
an hour.
over off the rails and through
So next week we'll
over
be
the river through
back
the
to
woods.
our regular Tuesday night schedule. Well,
Hey.
Tuesday night our time. Tuesday night and maybe like Wednesday morning.
That's
or
right.
Tuesday
to our
morning.
Kiwi friends. Hey.
I don't know if it'll be Tuesday
Our Aussie
morning.
friends, hey.
Tuesday afternoon.
Don't do math. I mean,
Well, I mean, to go back, it's the international
in our
Dateline
time
weirdness.
machine of the international dateline.
We'll be back to our regular schedule. We're going to be doing a resolution update. This weekend, we're having our annual... How long is it?
What are you talking about?
Like non-stop gaming from Friday night till Sunday night?
Oh, our gaming marathon weekend or
Yeah,
whatever?
so we're having crazy gaming. My goal between
Oh, no.
Rebecca and I is to get 30 games played. 30 games. So we should hopefully, have a ton of games to talk about next Tuesday. 30 games. Although everyone keeps suggesting these long, epic games. Like my best friend's like, we're going to play Zayat at 25 points. I'm like, that's like 8 hours. I think I'm going to have like a second game going off to the side.
Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take every small game off the shelf and just line them up. We're going to be like, we're going to do this. Go, 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 go. That's what I'm going to do.
30 games is our goal.
I'm just kidding. Sky's the limit.
No, 30 different games.
Orleans does Crush Broom Service. You're right.
30 different games. Someone says 30 games are the same thing. No, 30
That would be
different
awesome.
games.
I'll be like...
And if everybody's suggesting games that we already played, I'm kind of like, well, look over here. There's other games that we need to play.
All right, here's the deal.
Like we already
We're going to
played
play 30 games of Flux.
30 games. We're going to play 30. So we're going to have at least 30 games to talk about Tuesday. Which is going to have to go fast. We have to talk about like we have like a minute for each to talk about it, and we move to the next one.
Sweet, we can set a timer. We can do the Microsoft. You guys, not Microsoft. Oh my gosh, Micro Machines. Do you guys remember Micro Machines and the dude that talked really fast?
Yeah,
That'd be so awesome. We can Micro Machine talk
that's
it.
funny.
All right. It's time
It's time.
to say sayonara. Good night. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen.
We will see you next Tuesday.
That's right.
With the
Gaming.
the 30 game talk.
Madness.
30 game talk.
Madness, I say.
My mouse is doing weird things.
You don't even have a mouse. That's why it's weird.
Oh, my finger.
Your finger is like,
My little touchpad
there you go.
is doing
Now.
weird things. All right, we're out of here. See you, guys. Guys.
Oh no, it's contagious.
Folks. Ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I bid you
Adieu.
adieu.